Welcome to the Kennel, Cleveland football podcast.
We did it! We're in the playoffs!
The Cleveland playoff football Browns. This man.
We did it! We did it! Myles Garrett been struggling, but we're in the playoffs. Baker Mayfield. Sorry, too much.
Episode 143 of the playoff football Browns Cleveland football podcast. I will disclaimer right out the gate. Stevie's wasted.
I'm so drunk.
And he's going to say a bunch of curse words.
Well, I'd like to say full disclosure.
So just parental warning, put the thing like on the album art.
No, that'll be good. So full disclosure.
Don't watch this if you're sensitive to that in any way, because he will drop some mother effers. And
it's very possible. So full disclosure, last night I ended up drinking till 6 in the morning and I came home.
In anticipation.
Actually, it was kind of spur of the moment. But anyways.
In anticipation for the Browns.
Slept for 5-6 hours, woke up. This guy went to the in-laws, the fucking nerve, couldn't watch the game together.
They synced the Jim Donovan radio broadcast to the game,
which is sick.
I should have definitely been there.
That's the best way to do it. So
you're invited.
So I hit up one. Yeah, I'll be there next week. So I hit up one of my boys and I shoot over to the Winkin' Lizard.
The Lizard,
where I proceed to have
many a beer,
couple Bloody Marys, and then they they were delicious, spicy, spicy and delicious, and then they have $5.50 32-ounce Miller Lights. So I had
what more could you ask?
So I had 3 or 4 of those.
I'm not surprised.
And some super spicy
wings. Should have had 4 or 5 or 6.
They had a $12 steak dinner deal. I passed on that.
Oh, I was gonna say. I was like, how much did you?
I don't know. Steak dinner at 2 o'clock seemed a little weird. I had a burger.
You were famished.
The burger
was the Browns.
That's right. The burger was disappointing, but the Browns won.
Ouch.
Yes. The Browns won, and we're going to the playoffs.
Episode 143, we're here to break it all down. Browns versus Steelers. Make sure you follow us on all social media at Football Kennel. On YouTube, we are just The Kennel. Right? Cool. Just make sure. And today we're going to do, obviously, the game preview because the Browns going to the playoffs. We're going to talk about the Browns going to the playoffs. And we're going to do quick predict reveals where we're going to talk about the Browns going to the playoffs.
Mostly the Browns going to the playoffs.
Mostly the Browns.
That's kind of the most important thing.
They're going to playoffs.
We beat the Steelers.
So many years. You know, they were saying on the radio. 18 years. They were saying on the radio,
18.
Kids, there were people that have had no kids before the Browns, the last time the Browns make it to the playoffs, and now they had kids in their teens.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens in 18 years or whatever.
Outrageous. And there was another guy, and I
was 11.
Well, before we get into the game review, I wanted to say there was another guy that jumped on the radio who said he was at the game today, and he was actually at the obviously the last playoff game, and he said he was like alive for the 64 championship game or the 60. What was our last championship game?
We won our last NFL championship in 1964.
64, right. So he was there for the last one, and he said, "Enjoy it, Browns fans."
That's right.
Because you'll never know when you'll see it again.
Oh, it might be another 18 years. Who knows?
You never know.
I don't think
enjoy
that's the
it,
case.
Browns fans. And with that being said, game review.
Yeah, I think that's probably. Well, I want to say too. Of course, we're playing the Steelers immediately.
We'll get into that in the game review.
Well, I don't know. I was just saying, if we beat the Steelers, now we got to play the Steelers.
They play the Steelers again
in Pittsburgh
in the wild card round of the playoffs. So, game review.
Game review.
24-22, a Browns victory, and the Browns are going to the playoffs for the first time in 18, 17, whatever years, a long time. Browns finished the season 11-5, with the Steelers finishing the season 12-4. Stevie's loving it. I'm loving it.
still laughing about the intro.
We're having a great time.
We really nailed it.
Baker and Myles Garrett made out a little bit there, which is awesome.
For you listeners, that's what happened. It was just for some context.
And I'm hungrier than ever because the Browns are going to the playoffs and we're facing the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Stadium at full strength with all their starters, no excuses, and hopefully the COVID drama is over. So all we have from now on is actual consistent practice time and meeting times in preparation for our first playoff game.
So what I'm hoping...
That was a little too much.
No, there's no such thing. Okay. So what I'm hoping is, first of all, we play on Sunday so we can have Denzel Ward back. So if we play on Saturday, we can't have Denzel Ward. If we play on Sunday, we can have Denzel Ward. And that's excellent. We'll talk about this in more detail in our pregame episode later this week. Our first playoff preview.
First ever.
Whew!
First ever for a bunch of radio shows and podcasts.
We've done 100. This is our 100.
No one's ever tweeted about the Browns going to the playoffs.
This is episode.
Twitter didn't exist.
Holy shit! That's a damn good point.
No one's ever tweeted. No one ever made a Facebook post about the Browns.
Somebody tweet that out immediately. I'm gonna get that out into the ethos.
All right, do it right now.
Yeah, do it. Get on the Twitter. Anyway,
no, you do it.
I'll do it.
You're better at the Twitter than I am.
So what I was saying, follow us on Twitter at Football Kennel. But what I was saying is Denzel Ward can't play on Saturday. He can play on Sunday. So I hope we play on Sunday. As we saw in this game, Mason Rudolph going for over 300 yards. You really need Mason Rudolph. That's going to help a lot.
Facebook launched in 2004, so no one's even made a Facebook post about the Browns going to the playoffs ever.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a quality tweet. I'm gonna work on this next time you're talking. Anyways, so that's big. Also, I want to point something out. It's very important. The Browns finished at 11-5, and we have locked up the 6th seed in the playoffs. So no one can say we only got in because the NFL added a 7th playoff spot. We would have been in regardless. Because we're the motherfucking Browns. 11-5. 11-5.
11-5.
That's our best record since we've been back.
And I predicted it.
Since '99, the best we had done was 10-6 and 9-7. Those were our 2 only winning records. Well, what's up, bitch? 11-5. 11-5.
11-5.
11-5.
11-5.
More than twice as many wins as losses.
The rest of the episode is just going to be us saying 11-5.
11-5.
11-5.
11-5 in the playoffs.
11-5.
And was this game a little ugly?
In the playoffs.
That's right. Was this game a little ugly? You bet your sweet ass it was. But you know what? We fucking won. I really wanted.
We were missing like 3 coaches,
a bunch of coaches,
a bunch of starters,
great players,
due to injury and COVID stuff. Really lacking in the secondary and the linebacker unit as well. So really struggling defensively, which we knew heading into this game. Obviously we could talk about some gripes. Some of the play calling I think was a little bit questionable. But overall, really, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, there is no complaining. There's no complaining. There is no negative today. The Browns won, and we're going to the playoffs. But those would be some of the things that I would point out. Is I didn't like some of the play calling, but at the same time I did, because I could criticize handing the ball to your, getting your quarterback in a situation where you had to scramble and run for it a few different times, and even the quarterback draw play there to ice the game and win it after your quarterback just fumbled the ball to lose the game just a week ago. But I actually kind of also like that, because all it does is drive Mayfield's confidence, this offense confidence, the team's confidence, and it says the coach believes in the players we have down there executing what they need to execute to win. And they made it. They're in the playoffs. The Browns beat the Steelers. We're going to the playoffs, bro. We're 11-5. The Browns are in the playoffs. We're 11-5. Browns are in the playoffs.
11-5. And I got the tweet out. Last time the Browns made the playoffs was 2002. Facebook was founded in 2004. Twitter was founded in 2006. That means no one has ever posted or tweeted about the Browns making the playoffs. ... Until today. Go Browns! And I hope that's how people read it. I hope that's how they read it.
There's no other way to read that.
So if you see it on Twitter, that's how you need to read it.
I brought up some of the negative stuff, and I think we should just get the negative stuff out of the way. And the other negative thing is on the injury front. Donovan Peoples-Jones isn't in the concussion protocol, but he was tweeting all kinds of funny shit today, so I think he's going to be just fine. And then Olivia Vernon.
Or maybe he was very concussed.
Or maybe he was
That's not funny. But the hit on Donovan Peoples-Jones was targeting on a defenseless receiver.
That's what I said.
Leading with the helmet. That's how Ryan Shazier paralyzed himself, and that shit is textbook, by the rule, leading with the crown of the helmet and against the defensive receiver. Should have been a penalty, and that man should have been ejected straight to hell.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So
Prayers up for Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Concussion for him, and then Olivia Vernon will get an MRI tomorrow for the ankle, so we'll know probably what's going on there by the time we do our preview episode leading into the playoffs, our first one ever.
Oh man! Hey, so in 1 minute we got 8 likes and 2 retweets. So I think
it's a great quality tweet.
I think we got a banger, and you guys witnessed it live
on the air.
Yeah, well, we're not live, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like we're doing the episode right now.
That's right. Anyways, you posted it on your Facebook. Look, it's getting some traction.
I said no one has ever
liked it. Very nice.
No one has ever made a Facebook post about the Browns going to the playoffs until today. Woo!
That's right.
Oh God. What the fuck? Okay.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Sorry.
So some performances. Baker Mayfield did, just barely under 200 yards, 196, 17 of 27 for the single touchdown. Also had some key rushes, obviously, for the 45 yards. Nick Chubb, surprisingly, only 14 carries, 108 yards, had the touchdown. We had the touchdown to Austin Hooper. He had 4 catches leading, or just with the touchdown, 37 yards, 1 touchdown. I think that was the only passing touchdown of the day. Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah, because
What are you
Baker only had 1 touchdown, passing touchdowns.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Jarvis Landry, big game for him, I would say. Nothing like crazy statistically, but he did a lot of key things to get us the victory. 5 catches, 51 yards, had the rush at the goal line for 3 yards in the rushing touchdown.
One thing worth noting about Baker Mayfield is he's the 3rd quarterback to have 3 consecutive seasons of 3,500 plus passing yards, 25 plus touchdowns to begin a career since Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. He's the only other guy.
Wow, he's in good company for sure.
I think that's right. I might have made that up, but I'm fairly confident that it's legit.
Yeah.
So he's our franchise quarterback.
So a question for you: How do we stand a chance against the Steelers next week when we barely beat their backups?
Well, I'm glad you asked. First of all, we'll probably have 3 head coaches back. That's going to be helpful. Mm-hmm. Furthermore, if you look at this game, Mason Rudolph threw for over 300 yards. So I'm not saying that he was lights out or excellent in this game, but I don't see...
I think he played well. I would say he played well.
I thought he played well. I don't see Ben Roethlisberger having a dramatically better performance than Mason Rudolph had today. Maybe he throws for 50 more yards. Is that the difference between winning and losing? I thought Mason Rudolph was strong in this game. I thought our defense was bad. I hate Mason Rudolph for the record. Our defense didn't play that great, but if you're able to beat the Steelers in a situation where Mason Rudolph's throwing for over 300 yards, in a situation where your offense didn't play particularly well, we didn't run Chubb enough, didn't run Kareem Hunt enough, weren't able to really get into any kind of a rhythm outside of the first couple drives, I think those things can be corrected, and I don't think the defense is going to be much worse even against a Ben Roethlisberger, because the rest of the offense, besides Maurice Pouncey, their center, was still in the game. So I don't think we're going to see a big difference as far as offensive output goes. And we'll get into this in the pregame episode, obviously, with a little more time to digest, but some Browns fans may not be confident about what just happened, and they're thinking, oh, we only beat their backups by 2. It's not they sat like 6 or 7 starters. Sure. It's not like it's their whole damn team. And meanwhile, we're missing one of our best players in Denzel Ward, missed all of our receivers last week, weren't able to barely practice this whole week, constantly shutting down the facility, opening it back up, closing it down, COVID, this, missing linebackers, the whole thing. First time our offensive line getting back together as a unit in weeks. So all these different variables that make it really difficult to establish any kind of rhythm or consistency, and we saw that in the game. And Kevin Stefanski and the beat reporters and everybody can act like, there's no excuses, and we deal with the hand we have, and Kevin Stefanski always says embrace the suck and shit like that, which is great. But obviously, as we saw today, it had a major impact on the rhythm of the offense. Mm-hmm. So I think, God forbid we're able to keep COVID off our backs this week leading up to the game. I think if we're able to have some good practices, we're going to establish a lot better rhythm. We're getting healthy at the right time. The offensive line's healthy. Chubb and Hunt are fresh. The receivers are fresh. We'll see what happens to Donovan Peoples-Jones, but I thought Hodge stepped up really well in this game and played at a high level. Jarvis is a fucking dog, and he's 100% ready. So I think a good week of practice is going to go a long way, and I don't see the Steelers offense being able to do much more than it did against us in this game, even with Big Ben in the game.
Yeah, I agree, and I also would want to add also that it's the playoffs. It's the playoffs now. Everyone starts at 0-0, right? We're all 0-0, so it starts fresh. It's a new season, basically, so nothing matters. It doesn't matter who you beat last week, who you beat in week 14, 12, 10. Doesn't matter how bad they beat us week 6. We're all part of the playoff club now, so it's time to get serious, and that's a different kind of energy and preparation that you need to go into this game and this week. And it could be the Steelers, it could be the Bills. It doesn't matter at that point, right?
It is the Steelers, though.
That's what I'm saying. But
it is the Steelers.
But it is the Steelers, and
that would be some
I even said
shit.
Also it would be the Steelers. We need to earn it.
Yep.
We need to earn the playoffs. We need to earn a playoff a deep run into the playoffs, and we need to earn it through the AFC North, whether it's the Ravens or it's the Steelers.
Ravens made the playoffs too.
I was going to say, it might be the Ravens after the Steelers.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do that every season.
Yep.
Because that's our division. So it doesn't matter who we had next week. It almost makes sense that we would have to get through the AFC North, not just divisionally, but into the playoffs to win a Super Bowl or even have a deep playoff run. So I think, I'm ready for the Steelers. I'm ready for the Ravens. Bring them fucking on.
I'd have no other way. I mean, last time we went to the playoffs, it was the Steelers, and we had a double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter, and they were able to make a comeback with Tommy Maddox and all that dumb shit. And it's time for redemption. That game was in Pittsburgh. We're going into Pittsburgh. Can you think of no better way to win a playoff game? Could you imagine if we go into Pittsburgh and beat the Steelers? And you know they're going to talk shit all fucking week about how, you beat our backups and blah, 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 only by 2, barely beat us, you guys suck, same old Browns, blah, 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 blah. And then we go into Pittsburgh and we beat them by 50.
Well, you're not wrong about that.
Sorry, I got a little too intense there.
That's okay.
I apologize.
Well deserved. I was going to point out.
I was getting fired up. Times are good. These are exciting times. We're in the playoffs.
It would make sense that it's the Steelers going into the first week, and it almost adds to what happened in 2002, which is in 2002, to make it into the playoffs. What did we do? We beat the Falcons.
Yep.
And we had a very similar stand.
Run, William,
defensively.
Run. Yep.
With the 2-point conversion, stopping them there. So,
well, I thought it was poetic that the game-sealing first down was Baker Mayfield running the ball after him having 3 fumbles the previous week.
I talked about that while
Did you already?
Mm-hmm.
You already talked about that?
But you say it in your way. It's all right,
well, it was poetic justice. I thought it was great, and then he was all fired up, and then we're able to knee it out and get the dubs, and it feels good. I mean, that's
I basically said it was ballsy.
Yeah, and that's what.
So you could critique it, but also I love it because it just builds up the confidence of this team, builds up the confidence of Baker, and it it's obvious the coach believes in him. Stefanski believes in him. Otherwise, he wouldn't make that play call.
Well, that's a big part of it, and Stefanski's done that throughout the year, where he's gone back to things that Baker may or may not have struggled with to show that he has confidence in his quarterback. And Baker Mayfield's going to finish the year in this game, no turnovers, so he finishes the year with 26 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions, below double-digit interceptions, and a little over 3,500 yards. So 3 consecutive seasons of over 3,500 yards, 3 consecutive seasons of more than 25 touchdown passes. He has started, since Baker Mayfield took over at quarterback, he has started every single game. He's literally our quarterback. He's been in there week in and week out, and I love this guy, man. I'm so proud of him.
I think you just broke them all.
No, I think he's all right. He's strong. That's Baker Mayfield. He's strong.
You chipped something.
Look at this chiseled-ass Baker Mayfield. This is totally what he looks like in real life. Is it not? Did I break him a little?
You chipped, I think, a little bit of his chin. I don't know. Do it again.
He's got plenty of chin on here. Oh, a little fuzzy coming out. Whatever, but look at this fucking guy. He's beautiful. He's doing a great job. I love the progressive commercials. They're great at this point. So I'm good with it. I think, if you were going to kind of touch on some negatives. So
we already did them. Negatives are done.
Well, I want to get into it.
Get into them.
Nick Chubb was ferocious in this game. Ended up with over 100 rushing yards, which puts him over 1,000 rushing yards, which would have been his 3rd season with over 1,000 yards, but he finished with 996 his rookie year after breaking 1,000 and then having a 5-yard loss, that whole debacle. But he's able to get over 1,000 yards. He averages 5.6 yards per carry on the season, which is outrageous. He's got more 20-yard plus runs this season than he did last season, and last season he had over 100 more carries. So he's able to do that with also Kareem Hunt in the backfield. Now, we didn't get Kareem and Chubb both over 1,000. Kareem finishes with, I think, just shy of 900. But at the end of the day, winning is winning, and it doesn't matter, so I don't really care. And Nick Chubb's wonderful. But how come in this game he only gets, 14 carries?
A couple different things. One, I think nerves, pressure. I don't know. I could put it on that. Or was he, which would be pretty risky, hedging his bets and kind of hoping, maybe if I contain them, use them both a little bit sparingly than I normally would, I have them fresh going into next week for the playoffs.
Well, I also think Kevin Stefanski has a lot of faith in this offense. We talked about during #Kennel Quick Predicts last episode that I thought Baker Mayfield was going to throw the ball a lot because Kevin Stefanski believes in his quarterback. And we did see a more pass-oriented offense. We weren't able to sustain a lot of drives after the first couple, so Baker Mayfield only ended with 27 pass attempts, but it was obvious that passing the ball was going to be a major focus in this game, and it was. So that's the thing that happened. But I would have loved to have seen a lot more Chubb, but maybe Stefanski is playing 3D chess, and he wants a good, fresh Chubb and Hunt for the playoffs.
It could be risky, but it could be. That'd be some Bill Belichick shit.
I mean, if we go into Pittsburgh next week and Nick Chubb carries the ball 30 yards for 180 yards in 3 touchdowns and we win the game, how do you feel at that point?
I feel ecstatic.
Yes. Yes. I don't care how we win next week. I can't believe we even made the playoffs. This is kind of incredible to me. I don't really even know what to do with my hands. What do I do with my hands? So we've kind of talked about the game. It's really hard.
I'm a little speechless. I won't lie.
Yeah, it's like a little hard to like, I don't know, like really break down the game. Like I don't really care. Like we won.
I don't know what happened. I forgot.
Yeah,
I just know the Browns won.
I've been drinking a lot.
Yeah, I want to think of some of the things that I would have liked been done better, but I got nothing.
I can't really criticize because we're 11-5.
We're going to the playoffs.
We're 11-5. We're going to the playoffs. So like anyone who wants to like, even we're talking about like Nick Chubb. Why didn't we run?
It's funny. I'm arguing with this Steelers person.
Oh, gross. What did he say?
He said, so he responded to someone else's tweet about how the game won't be close, and then obviously it ended up being close, but we got the win anyways. So he said, won't be close, ? Browns are pathetic. So I just told him to go spin his dirty towel somewhere else. Loser.
Nice. I'm glad you threw it in loser.
I had to do it.
Good. No,
so
fuck
then
him.
he said, of course, you beat a practice squad team at home. So he just insulted his own team.
I was just saying earlier, they didn't sit that many guys.
Yeah, you already knew that this was going to be the response before he even responded.
I know.
So
I hate them.
Typical Pittsburgh people.
See, this is why I'm very glad that we're going into their house with no starters resting immediately, and let's play a real fucking playoff game.
But this was a playoff game, but I get what you're saying.
But you know what I mean. Yeah, no starter sitting, no excuses. Let's go into Pittsburgh and let's beat some ass. I'm really looking forward to our pregame episode so we can I can take some time to sober up. We can look into, what's going on with the matchup and all those different things. And I think it's going to be really interesting. But yeah, of course, looking at the box score, I'd love to see more Chubb. 14 carries, 108 yards and a touchdown. Baker Mayfield, 17 of 27, just under 200 yards. No turnovers, which was very big. Jarvis Landry, 5 catches, but we said this before where Jarvis Landry may only have 5 catches in a game, but it feels like each catch is so important. So important.
And he has so many hustle plays.
He had the rushing touchdown on the jet sweep.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Just so many guys down there that believe. Kareem Hunt with the block on that 4th down conversion to get the win.
It's a great team.
You heard the impact. It was epic.
I love everybody on our team so much.
I can't believe we made the playoffs. I don't know what to say. I don't get it.
I was ready. The game was stressful because, we just have so much PTSD as Browns fans. And you're like, when they scored and they had the opportunity for the 2-point conversion, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I'm like, this is it. This is how we lose it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they stopped the 2-point conversion. Then we get the ball back and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And they are able to get the first down. These are just simple things. And I think we talked about it.
Even the onside, I was like,
yeah.
3rd straight tight end.
And Steve Carlson's like, it's like in his ass. Dude,
God.
that was terrifying. But what's crazy is we talked about it a couple episodes ago. I haven't looked up the stats, but in games decided by 1 score or less this year, we were something like 6-0 or 7-0. So this game would bring us to 6-0 or 7-0 or 8-0 or whatever. So the biggest difference.
So then the Ravens would. The Ravens game
that did fuck it up. Touche. Okay, yeah, that did happen. So whatever. But moral of the story is,
and even the Jets game.
You shut your whore mouth, all right? I'm trying to make a point here about how
we win, and we've been net positive on those situations.
We're finding ways to win instead of finding ways to lose.
Very important for the NFL.
And it's not always pretty. I mean, what's crazy is we finished 11-5, and we do have a minus point differential, which I was hoping we'd be able to rectify that. It's because we got blown out a couple times early in the year, Steelers and Ravens. Mm-hmm. But we just beat the Steelers. I know they didn't have Big Ben and blah, 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 which is why I'm very glad we get to face them in the first round, go into Pittsburgh, fuck them in the ass.
Tell you to shut the fuck up.
Beat Ben Roethlisberger and take over the world. It's going to be awesome. So Thoughts on the game? What's up? Anything else you want to?
I got nothing much to say. The Browns are 11-5, and we're going to the playoffs, baby. I don't know what more you want from me. You know what I mean? I can't believe it.
I'm realizing I didn't put this light back where it
usually
belongs.
goes.
It's just kind of behind everything.
Is that a bad thing?
It'll be fine.
The Browns are going to the playoffs.
It'll be fine. I have fucked up our video so many times that whatever. I'm sure
I didn't hit record one time. So.
That did happen. Did I hit record? I hit record. Are you recording?
I hit record.
Oh, Jesus.
So anyways, those are my final thoughts of the game.
Holy shit.
No, I did hit record.
Okay.
I did.
That's scary. I don't have it in me to do all that
I
again.
Had to triple check.
Yeah, I see a red dot. So I feel good. I put a memory card in there. You put the memory card in there?
I did.
All right, cool.
It would tell me no memory card.
That's good. That's very helpful. Did you format it?
I think.
Maybe?
No, I definitely formatted.
All right.
Can we?
Anyways, my final thoughts on the Browns game.
Thanks for those are my final thoughts. My final thoughts are us talking about the fucked up
Okay,
lights.
well, you said, what are your final thoughts?
Oh, I have nothing. That's it.
That's what I know you don't have nothing, you son of a bitch. My final thoughts are, holy shit, we're 11-5. We're going to the playoffs. Yeah. This is the best day of my life.
Even better than when I have my first child.
You have a child?
When?
Oh, when you do have it.
Eventually.
Well, you're like looking into the future here now.
That's what I'm saying. But
it will be better than then.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't think
What if we win a playoff game? Anyways, moral of the story.
Well, that would top. So it would be playoff victory, this game, my first
birth
child.
of your first child.
Birth of my first child.
I think that's reasonable. I can relate.
And then right below that, getting my dog.
That was
somewhere
a big
in there
moment.
will probably be my wedding once that
Getting
happens.
engaged, any of that stuff.
Yeah. It gets there.
Michelle doesn't watch this, does she?
No, I don't think so.
Thank God. Nobody sent this to her.
Please notice me.
Please, for the love of God.
No, I love you.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's a great lady.
Yeah.
Anyways, my final thoughts on the game is I'm excited that we're in the playoffs because now we get to do another pregame episode, postgame episode. You thought today was nerve-wracking.
Wait till next Saturday or Sunday.
Hopefully Sunday. Now we're going to a playoff game. This is going to be absolute playoffs.
When do we know? Playoffs?
Apparently, we're going to find out tonight.
we both did a really good imitation of that.
Yours was strong.
So was yours.
Nice, I appreciate that. Go Browns, dude. Yeah.
If you're still watching to this point, thank you.
Sorry, I apologize.
Well, I'm just thankful.
Or listening. Whatever you're doing.
I'm not even going to try to do it again because I'm going to butcher it.
No, you can't. You'll get the episode out tonight. I'm going to edit it first thing in the morning. Yeah. I'm going to be editing this all hungover. Like, what am I doing with my life? I can't put this up. And then I'll put it up anyways. So
we were added to a list called the Browns, a Twitter list.
Nice, dude. Really making it to the big time.
Bro, another list, bro.
Whoa, dude, so many lists on Twitter.
So close to 1 million followers.
That's right. We're almost at
subscribers.
We're almost at 1 million followers on Twitter. So make sure you hit us at Football Kennel.
I was talking about YouTube, but
YouTube, we're closing in as well
to a billion.
To 1 billion. That's probably like a record for a YouTube account.
Yeah.
We're killing it.
We're going to get one of those plaques on the wall.
World's #1 YouTube account.
Visualizing. It's look to the future.
That's right. Anyways, my final thoughts on the game are it was a little ugly, but we got it done. We found a way to win instead of finding a way to lose. Baker Mayfield's my franchise quarterback. Kevin Stefanski is the coach of the year. I don't care what anybody says. The Dolphins got blown the shit out by the Bills. So the whole debate for coach of the year is between Brian Flores and Kevin Stefanski. Well, Kevin Stefanski finishes with a better record. He's going to the playoffs, and Brian Flores and the Dolphins are not. So as a result, Kevin Stefanski is your coach of the year. Baker Mayfield is my quarterback for the rest of my life. Nick Chubb is my running back. I'm having a really good time. And I'm just really excited for the playoffs. And we're going to do a very nice, in-depth, legitimate playoff episode leading in. And those are my final thoughts. So with that being said, let's breeze through these quick predict results. We only had a couple participants. Let's hand out some points.
Quick predicts.
All right, we're going to reveal the quick predicts. The Kennel quick predicts. Hashtag Kennel quick predicts. Make sure you use that hashtag to check out our quick predicts or to participate on quick predicts or post them on YouTube in our weekly game preview episodes. So quick predicts are the most important quick predicts of our Kennel lives until next week when we have a playoffs quick predict? Do we do playoff quick predict?
Of course we're going to do playoffs.
Of course we're going to do playoffs.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. We only had a couple participants, which I don't blame you guys because I'm sure the anxiety of having to predict things for this game.
Well, and it was New Year's and everything. No, but you guys are fucking pussies.
That's the only reason why.
You guys are fucking pussies.
No, you're doing great. Anyways. So,
except for KCK and Francisco
on YouTube.
You guys
Twitter,
are fucking
KCK
sick.
at KC_Kinnaman, and then Francisco on YouTube.
So let's get some points. You guys, first of all, can we do a quick bonus point for each of them? Because everybody else pushed out.
Bonus point. Bonus points.
Thank you.
For Francisco and KCK. Anyways, Myles Garrett, sacks. We were all a little off on this one. He had a horrible day.
You said 1. Everyone else said 3.
So I said 1, so nobody gets points because everyone's over.
Yeah, way over.
Mason Rudolph turnovers. Same.
A little aggressive.
Unfortunately, 2 for you, 2 for me, 3 for Casey and Francisco. Actual was 1.
He did almost have a fumble. Olivier Vernon, where he got tripped up, fell down.
That was some crazy shit.
Hit him. That was beautiful. I loved it.
Unbelievable.
It was a fumble, but he kind of recovered his own fumble. It was a non-turnover.
No points for anyone here anyways. Chunt rushing yards. Stevie went with 125. I went with 188. The actual was 145, so going over. Stevie takes the victory, and I think you're closer anyways to 145, yeah, by about 20 points. So good on you. Points for Stevie.
That's
and then
right.
on to the participants. Francisco, the closest, kind of very similar situation. KCK goes over, so Francisco gets points as well. Points for both of you. And then Baker Mayfield, over under 29.5 passes. This was pretty epic one, I think. I like this one. You went with over. You were expecting a pass-heavy day. I went with under. I think it was still very pass-heavy, but only 27 attempts for Baker on the day, so under wins, points for me. And KCK and Francisco both going over, so no points for you guys.
It's close. It actually was a really good over-under prediction. Like, it was very close.
Yeah, very. I loved it. It's almost slightly better than my Austin Hooper over/under 3 catches. You were like, "Why'd you pick 3?" I was like, "Because that's the average." And it ended up working out.
Yeah, it was brave.
So anyways, the final score, week 17, second most important quick predict of the evening. I went with you went with Browns 31, Steelers 17. I went with Browns 28, Steelers 13, a lot closer, and not as high scoring as we expected from the Browns. Actual being Browns 24, Steelers 22. And KCK from Cisco, you guys got pretty close too. It doesn't really fucking matter because the Browns won. So points for everybody, baby. People that didn't participate, Francisco, KCK, me and you, point party. Everyone gets points.
Browns are going to the playoffs.
Points. Playoff points, all the points that matter.
The Cleveland Playoff Football Browns.
I love it. And we are the Cleveland Playoff Football Podcast.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yep.
Thank you. The Cleveland Playoff Football Browns Podcast.
Browns Podcast.
That's right.
I love it.
The world's leading.
Put that in our bio.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that right now.
All right. So points for all of you guys, and then bonus points for me, because as we like to point out at the end of our episodes, record prediction from episode 120, NFL schedule prediction, where we went through the season for 2020 and predicted the record of the Browns weekend leading up to week 17. Our final prediction for the season was you going with a ridiculous 13-3, but not crazy considering how well the Browns actually played. And I went with 11-5.
Nailed it. Congratulations.
Nailed it. I get the crown. I crown myself. I am the king of the points. Give me all the points. Play some sort
Give
of
yourself
royalty.
a little music.
There's a royalty, like some sort of music playing in the background.
You should do Peach's Kingdom Road, whatever, Mario Kart Championship.
I will do that.
N64.
Okay, I'll
Use
do that,
song.
or I'll do...
it's playing right now.
Okay, it's playing.
It's the one.
Okay.
I've already called it.
Okay.
There's no turning back. Yes. Crown, imaginary crown.
Yeah, points. All the points are raining down on me.
That's right.
I love it.
I changed our Twitter bio to World's Best Cleveland Playoff Football Browns Podcast.
So this is great. Tune in next week when we break down the game against the Steelers.
Shit.
The playoff victory.
Bastards.
The playoff. Oh, did I just predict? Anyways, the playoff, just in case, the playoff game against the Steelers. We're going over to Hines. We're playing the starters. No practice squad team like the random Pittsburgh loser said on Twitter.
Fuck him.
And we're gonna
Fuck
come
you,
out
Steelers.
on top. We're gonna break it all down.
Hate the Steelers.
Subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on social media at Football Kennel.
I hate the Steelers.
I hate them too.
I really hate the Steelers.
Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we post the episode because we're inconsistent. And then on iTunes, on the Apple Podcast, the most important one, 5 stars. Subscribe,
right.
leave a review, whatever.
YouTube's the
We'll
most
shout you
important
out. YouTube is now the most important one.
That's right, baby.
I've been told.
Anyways, don't forget what Baker Mayfield said. At the NFL Scouting Combine, they asked him about the Cleveland Browns, and he said, quote unquote, if anybody's going to turn that franchise around, it'd be me. Well, guess what, motherfucker?
Oh, my God. I thought we would say, go Browns.
Baker Mayfield did it. And we're going to the playoffs.
Go Browns.
Go Browns. Well, that was a wonderful train wreck.
No, I think it's like our best episode yet.